The Super Tech guys are joining me here on the program, Eric and Larry. Hey, guys, how are you?
Wonderful,
Great, Jim. How
Jim.
are you?
I'm fantastic. We do these podcast series, which is great. It really helps everyone understand exactly what you guys do. But I'm wondering if the people who've been viewing these videos know that you guys help out with CSR stuff, Customer Service Representative Learning Series. I understand you do that. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, we do. Um, Larry and I learned a long time ago that more money is lost or won on the phone than pretty much anywhere else in your service business, right? You spend all this money sending out business development reps and doing Google ads and everything else to get the phone to ring. And then if you don't have a good CSR or receptionist, depending on what industry you're in, you could lose all that hard-earned marketing dollars because you're not converting on the
Yeah,
phone,
those
right?
those calls need to convert. It's so important. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the tip of the spear. It's somebody that calls in. If you don't have somebody amazing answering the phone, converting, and we learned this the hard way because we had somebody answering our phones for quite a while, and Eric can speak to this specifically, that turned things around dramatically. Tell them what happened to Jan on the first day, Eric.
Yeah. So we had a CSR, and Larry and I weren't tracking, we weren't really paying attention. We were a newer business. And all of a sudden, she'd been there for years. And all of a sudden I'm realizing, like, where's all my bids? Because I was an estimator in our company. I was out selling all day. And I'm like, I have like half the bids I used to have. What's going on? So I started listening to the calls in our system. And our CSR, because she just didn't, for whatever reason, was literally turning people away, saying we're too busy, we're like, go call somebody else. And our heads exploded, obviously.
Oh my
So we
God.
helped her find other employment elsewhere. And I
That's a nice way of saying
yeah,
she was
yeah.
terminated.
Well, you could call it what you wish. And so I coerced my very outgoing wife, who was a second grade teacher, to come be our CSR. And she said, well, it's summer break. I'll try it. And if I don't like it, I'm going to, not resign and I'll go back to teaching. Well, I was like, great, we'll try it out. So, I gave her a crash course in answering the phone, which it was like 5 minutes, right? And
Yeah, his wife didn't listen to him at all, pretty much is what was going to be happening.
yeah. So what happened was, though, I got a call the first day that she was working, Jim, at like 11 o'clock, and she's crying and saying, I can't do this job. Like, this is a huge mistake. You need to go hire a CSR. I'm no good at this. I'm not cut out for this. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're 3 hours in. Like, what's going on? And she said, well, I just can't. I'm not booking enough bids for you. And I said, well, how many have you booked so far? And she said, only 11.
Exactly.
And I'm
We
like,
haven't had 11 bids in like a
I had
month.
out 11 bids in like that'd be a week for the other. And I'm
So
like,
she got a raise. Go
okay,
ahead.
Yeah.
yeah,
Keep moving. Keep moving.
yeah, keep moving. So, then we realized, like, okay, she has the raw material to be a good CSR, but she was just winging it on personality and common sense, right? So then over time with her, because look, we knew we were going to grow. We knew there were going to be other CSRs, that she wasn't going to answer every phone call. So we started putting a system together on we were making scripts. This is what we say. This is how we say it. And the next thing you know, she's role playing with the other team in the office at least every few days, on answering phone calls, overcoming objections, getting people to book appointments, and our business skyrocketed. So now she does the videos at Super Tech University for training CSRs how to do this work. And what's cool about Yana is, Jim, I've read different statistics, but most CSRs, the majority, over 90%, are female. And therefore, Yana doing the CSR videos, she connects with those CSRs way better than Larry and I could ever do. Plus, she's done the job.
Yeah.
And after we sold our business, before we started doing CSR at SuperTech, she was actually working at a company where she was training CSRs all over the country for a company that's all they do, right? So she has a lot of CSR experience. And what's good about the videos is she just puts it all in human terms so that anybody can do it. And you know, our customers are so stoked because all of a sudden they're getting conversion for their marketing dollars. And that's what's important.
Yeah. Those marketing dollars are happening, and that's all that's important. I mean, you need something to happen, things conversions, and that's what our training creates.
Yeah, you know, the key takeaway of this is, and you had said earlier on in our discussion today, is it all starts with that incoming phone call. Picture this: if the phone was never answered, there'd be no business. When it gets answered, there could still be no business. Has to be answered by the right person, and they have to execute properly.
Yeah, look, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we hear phone calls, you know, because we will listen in with our coaching clients on the phone calls, and you know, the person on the end of the phone is, you know, they don't even say their name, they don't say the company name. It's like, hello. It's like, no, you know, it's a great day here at Shamrock Restoration. I'm Yana. How can I help you? Or something like, you know, like we're teaching them in scripting all of those things that will then lead to converting into jobs and money.
So I've been working with homes. Yeah. And so I've been working with companies like the company you guys had and the companies you serve, and some smaller ones. And, you know, part of our system at CheckerPro is to track phone calls. So I could hear these calls myself, and I would cringe when Hal, who was the AC guy, his CSR wasn't in, so he had the calls forwarded to his cell phone in the attic, and he says, "Yeah, Hal." And I'm like, "Hal, you can't do that." "What do you mean?" "Because you're now the front of the business when you're answering the phone." So yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, not everybody's cut out to answer the phones. That's another thing. You have to hire the right type of person. Like nobody's going to hire me. Like they banned me from answering the phones. I can't answer the phones in our company. That's a no-no. Right. So I'm not the right person. So I need to find the right type of person who's going to give that awesome, happy voice
and train them what to say. Because if somebody's up and happy and good and they don't know how to convert the call, you got to train them how to get appointments. There's that extra step that's super important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and quickly before we go, I think there's a combination of having the right personality, and I think that is often the most important thing we often talk about in businesses, to hire the person and then train them the skill, versus someone who comes in skilled with a lot of experience, but they've just a lousy personality, and they don't want to be trained, and they don't sound warm and inviting, and they will repel customers. So
Can I make one more point, Jim? Can I make one more point before we're done?
Absolutely.
We see this all the time. The CSR is often like the forgotten person. It's like, yeah, just go answer the phone, right? Like there's no training, there's no scripting, there's nothing for that person. They literally show them a desk and just say, thank you for calling Shamrock. How can I help you? And then beyond that, there's no training. Well, how is that ever going to lead to money? If, they're spending all this time, energy, and money training their technicians, training their project managers, and yet they're not going to spend any time, energy, or money training the person who's going to answer the phone, who's basically the first point of contact for a potential client. Doesn't make any sense.
No, you can put a hook in the water.
Most service businesses do it.
Yeah, I mean, you could put a hook in the water with no bait and don't train the person how to fish. They might get lucky. They might snag a fish in the eye or the tail. But if you want to catch fish, you need to have all the tools. I totally agree. Hey, guys, thank you so much for joining me today on the program. All of Eric and Larry's information is located in the description of this podcast. Reach out to them, learn what they do. You won't regret it. Hey, guys, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.